It somewhere comes out.
Okay.
We don't know because no one's ever seen that happen. On the same SNAP niches, my crew managed to film this species of shark, the white-tailed reef shark, in their extraordinary mating process. This is one single female being pursued by a rogue's gallery of males, grabbing hold of her by the gills, and she may have, some shark species may have, skin that is 5 times thicker than the males to be able to ward off their advances in this way. For most of the other 500 different species of sharks, these simple areas of the life history will never have been preserved clearly. This is, most people's classic idea of the massive monster of a shark, tiger shark, with camera and teeth that bite clean through the shell and circle. But in these same waters, there are sharks that will have their babies living in nurseries. They've been shown to have friends that they'll hang out with as a reference to other individual sharks. There are even some sharks, bonnet heads, that have been shown to have stomachs full of sea bass, and for cooking, said the first vegetarian shark. So there's still so much to learn about this vast, complicated, exciting mental animals, and I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time with some of the world's finest shark scientists to try and find out a bit more about what makes them tick. But this is how I got started. So when I was a kid, my absolute hero was my dad. That's here in the middle there. I thought he was like James Bond. I wanted to do everything that he did. Even if that meant sitting not in the water on a rock at the side of the sea wearing my mask and snorkel. If he was going to do it, I would do it too. It was on a family holiday when I was quite young. I saw my first big shark. So we were in Malaysia on holiday. I'd been out snorkeling over the holiday. I was about 9 years old. And I saw this lovely silhouette of a shark coming closer. I remember the excitement of just seeing my first shark. And then I realised that it wasn't going. If anything, it was going round and around and around me in ever-decreasing circles. And I did what any hardcore young adventurer would do. I scrambled up onto a rock and sat there for about 3 hours until I got such bad sunburn that I had to get back into the water, and then I swam like Michael Phelps to get to the shore. I now know that that was a black-tipped reef shark. It was probably about this big, and unless I was actually going to choke on it, it was particularly not going to do me any harm. So lesson learned. There is a big difference between your own fear and the genuine danger that a shark might pose. And the years that have followed, I've got to be in positions like this, shining lasers into a shark while others tag it to see where it goes. You know, big development and a big journey. I guess one of the first questions I get asked when I'm talking about sharks is, first of all, why? But secondly, how? How can you get out in blue water and swim alongside a great white shark? And the answer is, you don't. No mouse in the air starts off like their first mouse in the big Everest or K2 starts to really work well. It's the same with diving with sharks. You start off with relatively easy species, very controlled situations, and you get to learn a little bit more about how sharks act. You get to learn about their body language. Because sharks are annoyed, they'll show you. The shark drops its pectoral fins into this position, arches its back, opens its mouth, and its gills ability is getting ready to make tight turns. It's getting ready for territorial predatory action. And in those situations, you back off and you go to its space. But after a while, you start to learn that there are other signs that a shark will give you that are completely opposite of those, which are around that it's comfortable with being around. You even start to learn after a while that individual sharks have characters and personalities. Sometimes they've developed as you might expect to find a dolphin or a seal. In situations where you have one single shark that will stick with us for ages, 45 minutes, an hour, going round and around and around, coming closer, looking for tactile pressure, looking to have its body essentially straight, and then occasionally doing the pressure of the pump as it rolls over onto its back because the sensation is so extreme in that particular individual shark. And eventually, over time, you work your way up as you start to realise there are times of the day when you don't dive with sharks. I remember being at Tiger Beach in the Bahamas, diving all day, everything was absolutely perfect, and then we dropped in at dusk as the tiny sharks are at their most predatory, and lasted in the water for about 3 minutes before we all got out absolutely terrified, because the animals had completely changed their character. In the daytime when they were docile, the dawn and dusk when they very definitely were not. And after 20 odd years of diving with sharks, then I started to work my way up to the pools, tigers, great hammerheads, and eventually the great whites. So let's get back to the beginning. Where do sharks come from? They're actually very well represented in the fossil record. There are parts of their body that fossilise very readily, and they're relatively well known in prehistory. So these are scales from a shark that date from about 440 million years ago, the initially the Silurian period, which means that sharks are little trees. They're on the planet, they're a tree. They're still obviously way, way before the dinosaurs, the turtles, the crocodiles cropped up. It's believed that the origin of their teeth, which you have in these rows and they're placed constantly through their life, is the same as the origin of the dermal denticles on their skin. And around about 300 million years ago, you get this. This is Stegosaurus, and it is a remarkably strange-looking proto shark. It has what appears to be a shower head stuck to its back, and this is not one of the giants of the ancient shark species. This is Wikipedia here showing it alongside one of the Charlie's Angels for some reason with a scale. But one of the giant sharks would have been this, around about the time when Stegosaurus went extinct. Implied stalking our seas. And this toothed world in the jaw here is extremely well represented in the fossil record. Very hard, fossilizes readily, and the biggest of those are the size of dust mittens, at this sort of size, which leads scientists to estimate the helicoptile might have reached 8 meters in length. So bigger than modern great whites, probably the size of the basketball shark. Around about the time that helicoptile went extinct, we started to see these in our seas. Anyone know what this is? Any ideas? That's a chimera. They're just still around now. They're usually found in the deep sea, although they do pass sometimes in shallow waters at night time. I've been lucky enough to dive with chimera, and they have the most extraordinarily developed to beta loosen of their light, a mirror, to intensify their vision in low light, which has the side effect that if you shine your dive torch over the eye of the chimera, it reflects light out like a laser beam into the water. So Dr. Evil was right. There really are sharks with freaking laser beams coming out of their heads. And these are still around today. They've been around for at least 200 million years, possibly even longer. Around 190 million years ago, you get things like this. This is a fossil of Paratriarchus, and that is in the same family group as a modern zebra or leopard shark, which if you look at it, pretty similar how the fins are arranged. I mean, almost identical to this modern shark species. So this is around about the time that dinosaurs were starting to arrive on our planet. There were shark species that looked like the sharks we have around today. Now, just because they've been around for a long time does not mean that sharks are some ancient ancestors, prehistoric throwback. Far from it, we have some of the most developed senses of any creatures alive on the planet today. So the first of those is their sense of smell. These are the nares, or nostrils, and they are so adept that a shark can pick up one single drop of blood in an Olympic swimming pool-sized area of water and divert towards it, swim towards the source and find its food. And one thing that's always puzzled me about that is, why does the shark get a nosebleed? And what do they do, just swim round and round in circles? I'm not actually sure. They have other super senses as well, one of which is the lateral line. This is something that's found in most fish species that runs down the length of the body, and it's a line filled with tiny hairs called cilia, and they're very sensitive to movement in the water. So a little bit of agitation, perhaps an animal that's struggling or stressed, and the shark will move towards it, because the lateral line will allow it to sense the weight of the ripples in the water. It was suggested that I probably should have been a little bit more careful with this, and possibly should have been wearing a cricket box, because you just wouldn't eat that. I know they're small, but seriously, you don't want near your precious areas. This is the ultimate super sense, though, of the shark. These little black dots, which are a little bit like highly squeezable blackheads, are called the ampullae of Lorenzini. This is an electro super sense, which is exquisitely adept at picking up the minute electrical charges that are created in the moving muscles, particularly of their prey. It has a side effect, which is that when you're underwater, particularly with a camera or recording equipment quite up, sharks would come and put their nose right into it, And it's probably because they can sense the weak electrical fields coming off your camera, coming off your recording equipment. They're intrigued, they're interested. They want to find out what it might be. They find out it might be something they could possibly eat. There is one extra side effect to the implied and all these other side effects, which is that sometimes the shark can be hyperstimulated and it will go into this catatonic state, it's called tonic mobility. It's like a shark from being flipped upside down, it just essentially lies there like completely out cold. Sometimes folding the fins will have a similar effect, or stroking the muzzle can have the exact same effect. And like a few minutes later, the shark kind of wakes up like, oh, what was that? What happened there? Swims off absolutely fine. In the late 1990s, scientists realized that this was something that could be used for their advantage. It could be used by scientists as a way of studying sharks without anesthesia, without much stress to the animals. You can even take some content samples for a shark, putting it into tonic mobility, and then taking samples from it, and then just release the shark and it swims away with no bad consequences. There are, though, some animals that have learned about this too. So unfortunately, I couldn't afford the footage which has come out in the last couple of years of great whites actually flipping great whites over onto their backs, which creates this comic state. The orcas will then come in and they grab a hold of the pectoral fins of the great white and rip, and then they pretty much just take the oil-filled, squalene-filled liver of the great white. It's done with absolute surgical precision. The shark species that probably makes best use of these implied Lorenzini, this extraordinary electro supersets, are the hammerheads. This is a scalp hammerhead. You see it here coming into an oceanic seamount, being picked clean of parasites and bits of dead skin. And the way they find themselves in these seamounts is believed to be using that incredible superset. The hammerhead spreads out those sensitive cells, and they will use it to follow oceanic ridges which are full of magnetite and metals. They can sense using this extraordinary organ, and they'll follow it in to these cremastationary ridges, the seamounts. And the hammerheads may aggregate in huge numbers. Sometimes you might have hundreds of these hammerheads coming together in one spot. And some of it's for the cleaning stations, other parts of it is likely to be for breeding, for interacting with other members of the great white. So we were playing here for a couple of days, and most of what you see is these exquisite sights of animals, but every once in a while you'll see something which is completely unexpected. Hopefully, we'll get a bit of volume. I can show you now. So maybe 200 scalloped hammerhead sharks, each of them 3 meters in length. 2 bottlenose dolphins turn up, and they all go, "Quick guys, some dolphins, leg it!" And they go off as fast as they possibly can. You wouldn't expect it, but it turns out that members of the dolphin family, all the way up to the biggest, the orca, are the most feared creatures of sharks because they have that ability. And at the moment, it's called tonic mobility. So sharks are found in pretty much every single marine habitat. That goes all the way down to the very deepest of our seas, but also the coldest of seas too. So way up into the Arctic Ocean, you find things like this, the salmon shark. So salmon sharks have a superpower as well, in that they have in their body what are called countercurrent heat exchangers. That means they have the ability to run blood that's been warmed up by muscular movement alongside other blood vessels, and raising their body temperature above that of the water around them. It enables them to stay faster, to stay more adept in the coldest of seas. A lot of that warm blood is directed to the brain and directed to the eyes to make them even more pleasant and predative. Those same countercurrent heat exchangers are found in this fabulous, famous, and iconic great white shark. So, diving with a great white, all the rules that I talked about earlier on are the same. So you still have to read the body language of the shark, you still have to make sure that you're diving in crystal clear waters, that you can see the sharks around you, that you pay great attention to all the body language signs that they're giving you. If you do that, then you can swim out alongside a great white. Obviously, the consequences of this are far, far greater than swimming out alongside a humble reef shark. So you do have to be very, very sure about what you're doing. But this must surely be one of the greatest encounters under the sea. When that big great white swiped its tail, and I ducked like that, fly away, I said, "Oh, crumbs!" And the editors looked it back and thought that didn't sound frightening enough, so they bleeped it to make it sound like I swore. I mean, seriously, I'm watching this thing programs. So some parts of the world, great whites will practice this extraordinary ambush attack, where particularly at dawn and dusk, when the light levels are very low, you drop down to maybe 20 meters below the surface, and then come rocketing up vertically, hitting prey at the surface. And then momentum will carry them up through the water into this tumbling, what's known as a breach attack. This is classically seen in South African waters. I'm sure it happens lots of other places around the world, but this is the place that we most often see it occurring. And it usually occurs in situations where things like seals, which have amazing visual acuity, are compromised. So where light levels are low, this doesn't happen in the middle of the day when the seals will be able to see the great whites coming and get out of their way. This was the biggest single great white that we filmed reaching, and we used this decoy, that's what a real seal, that's a decoy, as a yardstick to enable us to measure that shark, and it was just over 5 meters in length, which means it could have been approaching a ton in weight. Imagine the force, the momentum that it must take to get an animal like that clear of the water. It must be extraordinary. Surely this is one of the great gladiatorial contests in nature, between the great white shark and the first seal. Between the great white shark and the first seal. Between the great white shark, it just doesn't seem fair. But the video that I showed you before when I was diving outside the cave of great whites in Guadalupe, Mexico, for most of the time we were there would be seals at the nose of the great white, dancing around, doing circles, pirouettes, right in the face of the great white. This is what they're doing, is they're saying, I'm quicker than you, I'm more maneuverable than you, I'm faster than you, don't even bother trying them up. There's one video that I did want to show you when we were filming great whites. So we've been out all day long, we've seen 2 or 3 sharks breaching, and then just the sun was almost gone, we turned around, we came back past the main line of the seal colony was, and then our Italian shark expert did this. That is utterly stunning. I don't know if you heard that, but as we turned around and came past the seal island, he went 3, 2, 1, and then the shark went boom up out of the water. It was the only time he did it in the entire week. He just said, no, we're doing this for a long time. I was absolutely sure it was going to happen. And it did. It was like it was a robotic great white under the water that he had programmed to jump at exactly the right time. So what I've noticed mostly changing over the years since I started diving with sharks in the early 1990s is that far more often now, you dive with any pelagic species shark, like a blue or like oceanic whitetips, and you are going to see animals that will be ensnared, entangled, or have hooks and lines coming out of their mouths. You know, that was very, very rarely the case when I first started off. And now, on any dive with a pelagic shark, you expect them to see it. Whenever possible, we will try and remove those hooks and lines. Because you can see that it compromises the predatory ability of the shark, sometimes does a considerable amount of damage to their jaws. But this is, it's time consuming, it's difficult, it's dangerous, you know, you're ever going to get bitten, so you're trying to get a hook out of the shark's mouth. It does, when you finally manage to do it, feel absolutely fantastic for you, but the truth is, this is the absolute tip of the iceberg. So, sharks are arguably the most compromised group of vertebrates on the planet. Only as 250 million a year are being taken from our sea. These are animals that take a long, long time to mature, to reproduce. There are some species of sharks that will live for more than 100 years, many that may not mature until they're 15 and even 20 years of age. So taking even a few is potentially catastrophic for species. Taking millions is a disaster waiting to happen. So many of these are taken by long-line fisheries, where you may have 60 miles of line, tens of thousands of basic hooks being dragged by just one boat to enable them to take so many sharks in the world's oceans. This is the catches that have been from one single fishery, one single day's worth of fishery at a tiny shark fishery. And to me, one of the things that is most sad about this is kind of going back to where I started, because now that I am a dad of young kids, I want my youngsters to have the same opportunities that I had. I want them to be able to dive with sharks in the same way that I have done. So many of the fondest moments of my life have been spent underwater with sharks. And I really desperately want them to have the same opportunities. And that's why I support lots and lots of shark conservation charities. I would love it if you guys would hook up some of those two. Doesn't matter which ones, just as long as you get involved and learn to train sharks, because so often the opinion that we have of them as malevolent, man-eating monsters is at worst misleading and is something that we all can fix. Getting out there and diving with sharks. So, has anyone got any questions they'd like to ask? Doesn't have to be about sharks, it can be about anything at all. Anyone? Yes, what's your question? In regards to repellents. Yes. Yeah. So we tested repellents and they work. We tested things like shark guard, which can create an isolated sort of electric circle around you as a swimmer or a diver, and they absolutely work. They are things that could be relatively simply implemented in fisheries to keep sharks away from long-line hooks, which would be fantastic. Tiny little shark guards that cost a few dollars per pop that can be hung alongside every hook that is targeting a tuna or a swordfish or a sailfish, and then keep sharks away. For us, as divers and filmmakers, we would never put ourselves into the water if we felt we were going to need a deterrent. So we don't carry them, we never have. And frankly, if I felt I needed them, then I wouldn't get in the water. Great question. Thank you very much. Yes, at the back, we're going to do rapid shares.
First, I just want to say thank you so much for your talk. The question is, what is next on your shark bucket list? Is there anything left on the list?
Yeah, there's a good few actually. Probably several hundred that I haven't done. I did last weekend take off a really big one for me, which was, I don't know if anyone's seen this, but about 5 or 6 years ago, it was discovered that certain kinds of shark will, in the right conditions, fluoresce underwater. There are really glow-in-the-dark sharks, and the ones that have been found that filmed before were swell sharks in South Africa. We have a relative of that in our waters in the UK that hadn't been filmed before. And last weekend, I went out with some friends. We took UV lights down at the lakes and all nights around trying to find these cat sharks. And we got some lot of footage of these actual glow-in-the-dark sharks on present waters. So that was a big tick. One that I would love to do, still happens, is the Greenland shark, which is, I'm sure many of you know, the oldest living dinosaur on the planet, kills whatever, 400 years of age, even maturity is 100. It's very difficult to do technically. So most of the beautiful sharks that we see of Greenland sharks are filmed with sharks that have been forced up by the depths on hooks, then unhooked and can be seen on the side of the Atlantic. Obviously, it's not for me. To dive with Greenland sharks in a natural way is extraordinarily expensive and time consuming, but hopefully someday I'll find some rich angel investor who wants to sell these to us. Thank you very much. Anything else? Questions? My favourite shark experience. That's a really good question. I think one of the best was just a blue shark, which is a comparatively common species. it was kind of my instinct to go on about having a shark that so clearly had a character, a personality. And we had maybe 15, 20 sharks in the water with us, both makers and blues. They're flitting around, no interest in us whatsoever. And then this one big boss of a male, like 3.5 meters in length, came in, ignored everything else in the water, and just came straight to me and stuck its snout into my hand. And it wasn't trying to bite me, it was looking for that physical stimulation I was talking about earlier on. You could see its eyes rolling back, and then it just went, ooh, it's atomic. And then it kind of righted itself, sank again, and came back around and did the same thing all over again. And it was just really clear that this one single shark just was kind of hooked on the sensation. And it was amazing. And you know, we got out of the water and we were like, did that really just happen? That was bananas. Then we started to get this kind of sad and stuff up because you see quite how easily a shark might actually take it. In fact, you know, you can get a single boat come through there and take every single one of the sharks all in one go. But yeah, I'd say that one was probably the highlight for me. Anyone else? Yes.
Thanks, Dave.
Hiya.
Just wondering, if you're in the shop, how do you know what the shops are?
So that's something that we did almost all of my diving when I started off was using chum or using bait. Now we're trying as much as we can to move away from that because there's no doubt that it does alter shark behaviour. And you know, there is nothing that comes close to swimming in a seamount in the Pacific and having a horde of silky sharks around you, having sharks that are cruising in past you because they're completely interested in you rather than because of bait. There are certain situations that are almost impossible because of it. And it's also, I think, true that when it comes to the economics of shark conservation, there are places like the Farmers and the Shark Sanctuary where sharks are absolutely protected. A lot of that is down to the fact that there is so much tourist dollar that comes in for shark diving. And it wouldn't come in if people were getting in diving and just seeing a very, very distant shadow that the sharks swim past. So for me, ideally, I would love to be able to never ever chum again. But I do understand that, you know, for many people, shark diving and shark conservation, it probably is a necessity. Yes, somebody else? Just here. Oh, sorry.
So besides not eating sharks, what are some things everyday people
I think that the best thing you can do is start local. You're so lucky here in where you've got amazing marine reserves, you've got incredible water, you've got so much going into in terms of ocean conservation. Back home in the UK, such a tiny percentage of our waters are actually protected, and a big part of trying to increase that protection and the efficacy of that protection is being involved in NGOs, being involved in charities, of which we have lots back there in the UK, but you know, frankly, we don't have a huge amount of team. Well, here in Australia, you have a great opportunity in that. I have my own, I'm very closely allied with you guys, because, you know, frankly, my focus on a lot of shark conservation in the UK. Being a member of a bigger body that has a bigger voice and that can throw itself into very specific projects and part of this is a way that you can absolutely make a difference. And it's something that I would advise anybody to get involved with. Okay, amazing. Listen, I'm going to be sat over here next to a long, large pile of books. So